Well, New York, as always, is the epicenter of everything, but really in NHL circles today, as we welcome in Clark Gillies, our good and longtime friend, Hockey Hall of Famer, four-time Stanley Cup champion, Memorial Cup champion, Clarky. Hey, great to see you as always, my man. And I'm going to jump right into it. 7 Islanders in COVID protocol, but they're going to try and give it a go tonight and play the New York Rangers in the Subway Series, man. What's the buzz going into the game tonight?
Well, they're in a bad state right now. The home opener against Calgary, they really weren't in it. They had 7 or 8 guys missing. Then they played Toronto on Sunday night again. It was a no contest, and I think that's kind of the way it's going to be tonight. It's a little disappointing. We're going into the new building, and we're short staffed. So I think the league I thought they might have stepped in tonight with injuries. We've probably got 9 regulars out of the lineup, and it's not a fair fight right now. And I don't think it's fair to the fans. I don't think it's fair to the team. But the league's going to have to do something about it.
For sure, but do your fans understand that, Clark? The Islanders have lost 6 in a row. I saw them burning jerseys over burning barrels in New York the other night. I'm like, come on. Like, I know you got passionate fans. Do they understand what's going on? Like, they seem very upset down there.
Yeah, the fan base is they only want one thing, especially with the ticket prices they're paying now in the new building. They want to win, and it's a difficult situation for them. I can't blame them. I think it's what's happened with COVID and a couple of key injuries. This team is playing very short-staffed, and you got it's mostly a group of the Bridgeport Sound Tigers playing, and I think the league at some point has to step in and say, listen, it's not good for the franchise, and help them out a little bit.
Hey, look, I'll talk about some positive things in a minute, but I do just want to say this. 13 straight on the road to open the season. And I think when they started the season, they looked fine, but I saw them play in Florida the other night, and I'm like, they're just bagged. They're just done. And they're 5-8-2 going into this game tonight. I mean, that is a hell of a schedule. What did you expect this team to do with 13 straight off the hop like this?
I thought it would be. I thought if they could come back a couple of games over 500, everybody would be very happy. They were in that position. They were 5-2-2 after 9 games on the road, and then they lost the last 4, which was a little disappointing. Wasn't the way they wanted to finish, but it is what it is. Nobody expected this situation with the COVID and the injuries that they've gotten. You can never predict that. This team is, I think they're pretty resilient. According to Lou the other night, he made a comment that the team is they're very upbeat. The morale is pretty good on the team. I don't know. That may just be the general manager talking. I don't know if that's true or not. But the fans were there all weekend. They were there for the home opener. It was a very exciting night. Even Sunday night with Toronto was exciting. But I don't know how they're going to accept. And tonight they got a bit of a break because it doesn't matter. It could be 30 inches of snow on the ground and it would be sold out for the Rangers. So it's going to be interesting to see how the game goes tonight. I sure hope somehow the Islanders can muster up enough to beat a Ranger team that I don't think has too many injury problems and doesn't have too much COVID stuff going on. So they're up against it tonight, and it's going to take a tremendous effort by every one of these regulars and the kids that they're calling up. I hope they have a lot of adrenaline because they're playing the Rangers in a brand new arena.
Well, we know one guy that'll be watching tonight. It's our good friend, our mutual friend, Joe Lazito, who you saw recently. He said that you had some nice things to say about me, so thank you for that, Clark. But I got to ask you this. Can the Islanders rebound? Because they're in such a tough division, this Metropolitan Division, where the last I looked, they don't have one team below 500. Can they salvage this year, do you think?
Oh, God, I would like to think so. Got a long way to go. They get everybody back and get on a streak. I believe they can get back into it. I mean, they got this. When they're healthy, it's the same team they went to the Final Four the last 2 years. So got great goaltending, got a great group of forwards, and they're just gonna have to weather this storm. It's not going to be easy. By the looks of it, at the end of this stretch, they're going to be, like you said, probably 4 or 5 games, 6 games under 500. But, I was thinking about the other night, I was thinking about the St. Louis Blues when they were in last place in their division after January 1st, and then came back and won a Stanley Cup. So anything can happen. I think this team is determined to come out of this and work as hard as they can to get back into good position in their division and in their conference. So I'm not giving up on them just yet. I think there's a long way to go.
Hey, so to the happier topics, you've been pumping this rink for the last few years. Is it usually you get into these facilities and they're better than you thought? Is that what you got in New York?
This building is amazing. It's got so many great amenities for the fans. The suite levels are, gosh, they're mid-level. There's not a bad suite seat, I can tell you that. The 100 section has 10,000 people in the lower bowl. That's the most people in any lower bowl, certainly in the National Hockey League. It's very reminiscent of the sightlines from the Nassau Coliseum. Everybody's got a great seat. It hasn't been as loud as we'd like yet because they haven't had a whole lot to cheer about yet. But they've given everything they can to the fans. There's 4 locations in the rink that you can go have a beer and not miss 1 second of play. They're all open air bars that look right back out onto the stadium. They've given it a lot of thought. There's more bathrooms in this arena than any other arena in the country, which was always a complaint. Getting a beer and going to the bathroom were the 2 biggest complaints. It's really special. They spent $1.5 billion very wisely.
Well, I'll tell you, the old Brand Center in Regina, the home of the Pats, when that baby opened in 1977, the Agrodome must have been just the marvel, because you can, to this day, stand at the concession and look over your shoulder and watch the ice. That was 1977, Clark. Like, that thing must have just been the jewel at the time, right? And by the way, had your son-in-law on, Justin Bourne, not that long ago. That must have been a hell of a farewell to the old lady last year in that run, Nassau County Coliseum, when you crushed a beer off your head on the big screen. I asked Justin about that, and he's like, that's my father-in-law. Emotion just take you over, Clark, that night, or what happened?
Well, there was a guy from the New York Jets that was smashing beer cans on his head. And my buddy who I was sitting with, he says, "You got to do that." I go, "I'm not doing that." I said, No, you got to do it. And I said, well, if the situation arises where we really need it, I said, I'll try it. So we were playing the Bruins that night, and the game was, I think it was 1-1. It didn't look like there was much going on. So it was more of an empty beer can than a full beer can. So I smashed it on my head. The fans went crazy, and I hit it about 3 or 4 more times. And a couple minutes later, Barzal scored, and we went on to win the game 4-1. But so everybody now says, "Oh, Gillies, you got to smash a beer on your head every game." And I said, Pat LaFontaine told me, "We've had enough concussions. You don't need to give yourself one." I said, "Yeah, it's probably not a bad idea." But it was a real conversation piece for a long time after I did that.
Well, I was still talking about it with Justin anyways, and man, it must have been a lot of fun. Well, we'll make it there eventually. For me tonight, it's Philly at Florida here tonight. I can't wait to be at that game. Clark, always a pleasure. Enjoy the game tonight, and hey, happy holidays as Thanksgiving hits us tomorrow.
Thanks, Roddy. We appreciate it. I was wondering where you were. That didn't look like your backyard in Regina, but
no, not at all. That's right. Thanks, Clark.
Enjoy it. We'll see you soon. Thanks, Rod.
Absolutely. Hockey Hall of Famer Clark Gillies, and most importantly, from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching the RP Show on YouTube. And don't forget, we're live daily on YouTube from noon to 2 Eastern. If you like what you see, hit subscribe. And if you like the program, check around for other segments of the Rod Pedersen Show here on YouTube.